Hi friends, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a granny square. If you see me holding my hook a little weird, it's because yesterday I smashed my nail, so the front and top and below is all sore, but it's okay. So you're going to need any 4-weight yarn. I'm using Big Twist acrylic. And then you're going to need a pair of scissors, a 5.5mm crochet hook, and a darning needle. You can use as many colors as you want. Usually I'll make the entire middle of a granny square with one color, and then my outer edge will be my complementary color. Okay, so you're going to make a magic ring. So you're going to take your thumb and your pointing finger and you're going to grab your yarn. You're going to wrap it around your pointer finger and your middle finger, bring it under, and then bring it back over. So you'll have an X on your two fingers. You're going to take your crochet hook, you're going to go under this first loop and grab your second, pull it through and twist it. You're going to grab that yarn you're holding on to and pull it through that loop you just made. And now you have a magic ring. Okay, so from here I'm going to chain two double crochets. So from here you're going to yarn over, take your hook, put it through the circle, and grab your tension yarn, pull it back through the circle. You're going to yarn over, pull through those first two loops, yarn over, and pull through the next two loops. And now you have your first double crochet. So you're going to make one more. So you yarn over, go through your circle, yarn over and pull through the circle. Yarn over, pull through your first two loops, yarn over and pull through your next two loops. So your chain two is going to count as your first double crochet, so you technically have three now. So you're going to chain two, so 1 and 2. You're going to do 3 more double crochets, so yarn over, go through your circle, yarn over, pull through your circle, yarn over, pull through your first two loops, yarn over and pull through your next two loops. And you're going to do that again. So this is my second double crochet and my third double crochet. So you have another 3 double crochets. So you're going to chain 2 more, do 3 more double crochets into your circle. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to chain 2 again, and once you have your chain 2, you're going to do 3 more double crochets into your circle. 1, 2, and 3. Now I have the base of my square, so I'm going to chain my last chain 2. I'm going to take my tail over here and I'm going to pull it tight, and that creates our base for our granny square. So I'm going to go into my chain 3 space and I'm going to make a slip stitch. From here I'm going to cut my orange yarn. I'm going to leave a long enough tail so I can sew it in later. And pull the yarn on my hook through that slip stitch and pull it tight. Okay, so from here you're going to take your new color yarn, you're going to make a slip knot, you'll go through over your fingers. Basically you're doing a magic ring again, only you're going to take that top loop and pull it tight. So I'm going to take my crochet hook, that corner we were just working on, I'm going to put my hook through it, put the slip knot on my hook, and then I'm going to pull it through. Once you have your yarn through that corner space, you're going to chain 2, so 1 and 2. You're going to do 2 more double crochets. Yarn over, through, 1 and 2. Okay, so from here I'm going to do 3 more double crochets into that next corner space. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I personally don't do the chain 1 in between my spaces because I like my granny squares to be a bit tighter. So I'm going to do 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. So now we have one side of our square. We're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to do 3 more double crochets in this same corner space. And this is going to create our new corner. So from here, you're going to do the exact same thing we just did in this corner, on this corner and this corner, and then I'm going to meet you guys back at that last corner. Okay, so I finished my other 2 corners. So this is what it looks like as of right now. So when you get to this point, you're going to double crochet 3 more into that last corner space. 1, 2, and 3. Once you have your next 3 double crochets, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch back into that chain 3 space. So I'm going to change my color again, so I'm going to cut my yarn, pull it out, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. So I'm going to slip stitch, I'm going to make a slip knot, pull my hook through that next corner space, and chain 2, and then I'm going to put 2 more double crochets in this corner spot, 1 and 2. So this round is a little different because we have these middle gaps. So you're going to take your yarn and you're going to do 3 double crochets into that next gap in between your corner spaces. So from there it's going to look like this, and then you're going to do a corner again. So you'll chain 3, you're going to double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3 in your corner space, and then you're going to put 3 double crochets in the gap. You'll do a corner, 3 double crochets, corner, 3 double crochets, and then we'll end up back at our corner. So double crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. So now I have my next corner. So I'm going to do 3 double crochets in my next spot. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out this round, and then I'll meet you back at the very end. Okay, so I finished my other sides. I'm back at my corner, so you're going to do your double crochet 3. Got 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to chain 2, so 1, 2, and then you're going to slip stitch back into your chain 3 space. Cut your yarn, and then you're going to continue to do that for 2 more rounds. Most granny squares are 5 rounds. Most squares are 5 rounds, so I have 3, so I'm going to do 2 more rounds. So make my slip knot, pull it into my corner space, chain 2, I'm going to double crochet 2, And then from here, I'm going to put 3 double crochets in this gap, 3 double crochets in this gap, and then I'm going to do a corner. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to do 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. It's going to look like this. And then we're going to do a corner space. So double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3. Okay, so we have our corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochets in each of our gaps. Alright, and then we're going to do our next corner, and you're just going to do that for the rest of the granny square. I'll meet y'all back in that corner again. Okay, so I am back at that corner. So you're going to do the same thing you did for the other rows. You're going to double crochet 3, chain 2, and then slip stitch back into that chain 3 space. So my finger is hurting pretty badly, so I'm going to stop at 4 rounds. If you want to keep going, all you're going to do is put your 3 double crochets in your gaps. So you'll have, for your 5th round, you'll have 3 of those spaces, and then your corners, you'll do your double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3. So you're doing exactly the same thing every round, it's just growing in size. So from here, you just weave in your ends. I crocheted over mine, so all I have to do is cut them. And then when you get to your magic circle, you definitely don't want to just cut it. So you're going to put your yarn on your darning needle. When I'm doing magic rings, I like to go under that first stitch with my needle, and then I'm going to take my yarn and put it over my needle, and this is going to create a knot. And this will ensure that your magic ring stays closed, and then I'm just going to go into the other stitches of my magic ring. And then I'm going to go back through some more stitches. You want to do this 2 or 3 times just to make sure your end's not just going to pop out. And then you can cut that one. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. My finger hurts bad. Move those out of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and sew this end in for the sake of the video. So I'm going to put it on my needle. I'm going to go through this stitch. So I'm going to go through the top, push it through. I'm going to go through these next set of stitches right here. Pull my needle and yarn through. I'm going to pull this back up so there's not a weird bump. And then I'm going to go back through. And I like to just go ahead and take it over to that next side of the corner. And then I'm going to go back through one more time. And then I'm going to cut that strand of yarn off. And now I have a granny square. So yours should look pretty similar to this. If you want a more looser granny square, you can do your chain spaces in between. If you want more pointy corners, you can do chain 3 instead of 2. You can do just about anything with your granny squares. This is personally how I do my granny squares. I think that they look pretty. I made this one with a 5mm hook. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then with my 5.5mm hook, it's almost that same size. But it's that simple. So at this point you should have a beautiful granny square, and just remember that practice makes perfect. My first granny square was so wonky, it was crazy. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any more crochet tutorials you would like for me to do, please let me know in the comments. And if you would like to show me your granny squares, you can tag me on your Instagram post so I can see. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and happy crocheting!